Thank you.
There we go. Okay, cool. Anyways, guys, hi, how are you? I'm V. Like everybody knows me on TikTok as V. My full name is Vanessa. I just prefer to go by V because, it's the cutest thing in my life. My mom has always called me V. So for me, that's like, um, oh, did we just get disturbed? That was on my end. Sorry about that. So anyway, like I was saying, I prefer just being called V because that's what I'm used to. And that's what I go by on the internet. And I personally don't like being the person who just talks, 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 even though I know this is a session where I have to talk and then you guys can ask your questions later. But feel free to use the reactions on Zoom so that I know you guys are still with me, you're still alive, and I'm not boring you to death. Okay. I like that. I like to interact with people, not just to teach. So, my understanding is I'm going to be talking to you guys about remote work, and we've only got about 53 minutes to go. I will give you guys a few minutes at the end just to ask questions if I don't touch on anything that you might have questions on. But to start off, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction to who I am, what I do, and why I do what I do, and also why I'm here to talk about remote work. So, essentially, I started working remotely in 2022, and I work currently as a legal assistant for a law firm that is based in the USA. And like I said, I started in 2022. I had been through 3 years of unemployment. By the time I got that job, best believe I was tired, like many people in this economy. I was tired. And when this job just kind of happened, and I say kind of happened, I use that lightly because it's a whole process. Going through remote job interview is a whole process. But after I started working, I was like, oh my God, this is literally life changing. It's what I've always been wanted, but I just didn't know exactly what it is. So, in me not knowing what it is, what I had always known was that I personally hate being in an office. I do not, it's not that I don't like people, but I'm I'm an introvert. I know online I come across as an extrovert, but if you look at it, studies have shown most people who are like influencers or social media personalities, most of those people are naturally introverts. But we are very good when it comes to connecting with people online and on camera. So that was always my problem. I'm very socially awkward in real life. You wouldn't believe it. I can only have conversations with somebody one on one in real life. If I have to be in a group of people, or if I have to be in an office where there's just too many people, too many energies, I am kind of thrown off. My energy is kind of thrown off. So I always knew I would really love a job that does not require me being in an office. So when I started online stuff, I started off with blogging and I thought, okay, with blogging, maybe I can get somewhere. It didn't really get anywhere. It took me into influencing, which I love. Up to now, I love being part of the influencer community and stuff. But what I realized I loved the most was the fact that I could have a stable income and work for a company that is not anywhere where I am located. Like I work for a company that is miles and miles away. Nobody is stressing me about, this was not done, work is not submitted, and things like that. So that's why when I say when I got my remote job, I was like, oh my God, this is something that I think I should share with other people. Because for me, it was really a life-changing moment when I got that job. Like I said, I had been unemployed for 3 years. I had run out of all of my savings. Thank God I was staying at home. If I wasn't staying at home, I would have probably gone back home because at that point, I literally was back to zero, back to nothing. And on top of that, my phone died a few months before I got my interview. So I can tell you, I was that person who had just gotten into her 30s with literally nothing in her name. And then my job happened, and I was like, oh my God, this is too good for me not to share with the world. So that's when I started posting on TikTok. And, I've become V, the remote worker on TikTok, because I was just like, you know what, this will help a lot of people. We are unable to get jobs since COVID. It's just been so difficult for anyone to get a job. So I saw that as an opportunity for me to share information that I've learned along the way. and just to give it to other people. And in me giving it to other people, I then came up with a remote work masterclass where I generally share a whole lot more information than what I do on my TikTok. Part of that are the things I'm going to be talking about here. So, to kind of give you an idea of what remote working is, it's generally working for a company that gives you location independence. And location independence meaning you are not bound to showing up at a certain office at a certain hour. Well, if you end up with a job like mine, you still need to show up on your laptop at a certain hour, but you don't need to be in an office. So, location independence, you can either work from your home, you can work from whatever restaurant you feel like, or whatever country or city you feel like being, because at the end of the day, no one is expecting you to ever show face in an office. So you basically control where you work from, what you want to do during that time. But again, what you want to do then depends on what job you're going to be doing, what company you're working for, and how strict their rules are. So that is what remote working is. And I'm sure you've realized after COVID, most people have started choosing to work remotely over going to the office. And there are a few reasons why. Some of those are the freedom to be able to do whatever you want at whatever time, the flexibility of you handling your work at a time that you feel like this is my most productive and this is not my most productive. Another thing that I can factor in there, it's saving. We know how difficult that can be. Well, at least I know how difficult that can be. I used to save just a little bit with my last salary before I actually got unemployed and then got this job. Now saving is a bit easier because when you look at it, um, guys, I need to apologize. I'm really sorry. I need to apologize before we carry on. We are probably going to get a little disturbed here and there because the device I'm using, I also use it for work. And some calls might come in, though my colleagues are taking over them. Okay. So please forgive me if we keep getting a little disturbed. Anyway, like I was saying, saving becomes a really big thing. For me, what has happened is I've stopped commuting to work. I've stopped buying lunch for work. I've stopped buying clothes for work. And clothes was always the biggest thing for me. You know, when you're going to work, you need formal clothes. And for me, I would never wear those formal clothes anywhere else. If I don't wear them to work, then they're just sitting in my wardrobe. And that was a bit of a waste of money for me. So, those three things that I used to do buying lunch for work, buying clothes for work, commuting to work that's money that I personally now can save. And for somebody else, it might not be money you can save, but it's money that you can put towards something else instead of, doing the usual stuff. And then in terms of flexibility, what I have personally found with remote work, you would be able, some companies actually allow you to work at whatever time you want. Unlike my job, which is like a full time 9 to 5, even though it's a different time zone, it is a full time 9 to 5. I'm supposed to work from this time to that time. When it comes to remote working, some jobs will just tell you this is what you're handling for today or for this week. When you do it is up to you as long as it gets done and you deliver results. So those are some of the things I would say are swaying people to kind of look into working remote. And I see those as really good reasons for you to want to migrate from working full time into going remote. And for the people who have families, it also gives you the time to be able to spend some quality time with your kids, pick up your kids from school, take them to school, and just have some quality time with them instead of having that whole rigid thing. And please, guys, I know some of you, if not most, of you here probably work full time. In anything I'm saying, I'm not trying to badmouth the fact that, oh, people go to the office. People do, but I'm here to just tell you there is an alternative that is actually way more flexible than what we are used to traditionally. Okay, so questions. I see your question there, but I will only be answering questions later on. I would like to just kind of get through what I want to talk to you guys about, and then we can chat about that. But also, now that you've asked. I can't ignore it. So, in terms of load shedding, depending on where you are, right, you are going to need to have backup. That's one of the things that you will need in terms of working remote. Like some of the basic requirements, if you're looking to work remotely, you're going to at least have some sort of backup electricity. Get yourself an inverter, a UPS, a generator, whatever is affordable to you. You need to have those things in place. Not every company is going to be able to provide these things to you. So it would be wise and useful to you to make sure you've got these things. And now that we've talked about this, right? I am going to then just tell you some of the most basic requirements if you want to work remotely. Obviously, we've touched on the generator, backup electricity. The other things are you need to have a laptop. It's not every company that's going to provide equipment. There are some companies that can give you equipment, companies like Amazon, and Amazon is always hiring, just putting it out there for anyone who's interested. You can check out Amazon. They usually are hiring quite frequently. And my understanding is they do provide laptops for their employees. But um, if you basically want to get a laptop, well, which you should have, your laptop, the specs that you're looking out for, your laptop just needs to be Core i5 with 8 gigs RAM. That's the minimum that you need. So far we'd said you need to have backup electricity. You need to have a laptop that is Core i5 with 8 gigs RAM. You also need to be 18 and above. You can't be younger than that. You cannot be getting employed while you're 18. I believe there's no 18-year-olds here, but you really do need to be 18 and above, and you should have matriculated. If you're not in South Africa, then whichever part of the world you're in, you should have finished high school. It does not matter whether you passed or not. The rule is you should have finished. And then you should have great command of the English language, especially if it's not your mother tongue. You need to show that you're able to communicate well and effectively in English. And then you're going to need to have a quiet working space where you can get your work done. Remember, I said remote working is location independent. It is, but majority of people, myself included, we work from our homes. So when these companies hire you, they want to know that at least you've got somewhere from home where you can work from. So you need to have that. That means you're going to need to invest in a desk where you can work from, something comfortable. You need to have a comfortable chair. That is a big one. You need a comfortable chair because, girl, if you're going to be sitting for 8 hours, you need something that is comfortable enough for you to get your work done, right? And what are the types of jobs? Because I think most people also kind of wonder, what are some of the jobs that people can get when they are looking for a remote job? The misconception that is put out there is that most people who work remotely just do customer service. And like I said, it is a misconception. You can work any type of job, obviously, with some exceptions. I am not going to have a doctor work remotely unless there's technology. Obviously there's some technology that can allow doctors to be communicating with each other remotely to get some surgeries done, but I hope you catch my drift. There are certain jobs that you're not going to be able to do while you're remote. However, the majority of the jobs that we've done traditionally in the office, we are able to do remotely. So think of yourself as an accountant. You can work as an accountant remotely. As a lawyer, there are people who work remotely. I work for a law firm as a legal assistant. Our attorneys are all in the US, but they actually do not work from an office as well. They all work from their different locations within the US. So it is quite possible for you to have the most sophisticated um, career and be able to work remotely. And yes, they will always be the customer service positions, the virtual assistant positions that are way more than the rest, because almost every company will need somebody to handle their customer service. And they don't need just one person, they need way more than the accountants they would need in a company. So that's why when you go online, it seems like, okay, all the jobs are just like customer service, entry level. That's not the case. You're just going to need to search a little bit deeper in order for you to what? To find exactly what you want. And just with that, just with that, also, I was going to say it's not only about searching deeper, it's also about there's going to be a lot of competition because I've had so many people come and they're like, oh, I've been applying for so long, but I am not getting it. And these are people, like I said, your accountants. Those are the guys that normally come to me and they're like, I've been applying for like months, for years, I'm not getting anything. The competition is obviously going to be very high because your jobs are not easily available. They are not as many as the entry level positions. And some of the ways that you can mitigate that and kind of position yourself in a way where you are more favorable than the other candidates are essentially working on your CV. And when I say this, it's usually the thing of knowing that when you send your CV is going to go through ATS before somebody actually goes through it. So each and every time you're sending your CV, it needs to be customized. You need to pay attention to the keywords that you're putting on there so that when it's scanned through ATS, it's not an instant rejection. At least you can pass through to a phase where somebody then goes through it. And maybe then you can now proceed to what? To your interviewing phase. But yeah, those are some of the things you need to kind of, focus on your CV, sprucing up your LinkedIn, making sure you also find somebody to help you with your interview preparations and things like that. Are we still together, guys? Are we
Yes,
still together? Because I feel like I might be boring.
no,
uh,
Siaguva, you were giving us a brief on your
Go
experience
on.
in remote work and how you feel about it. No, but I know that
okay,
now
cool.
the house it's 80 plus people, so they will ask a lot of
Mm-hmm,
questions, and I know I have limited time with you. But I feel like our
mm-hmm,
main question is how can we access these remote opportunities? Where do we
mm-hmm.
look for them?
Oh, okay. So the short answer to that is honestly that almost every website where you go looking for an on-site job, you can find a remote job. It's a matter of refining your search. And one website that I always tell people to try, like Google Jobs, go on Google and search Google Jobs. Google has a place where they just list jobs. And these are not jobs to work for Google. They are jobs to work for different companies that are listed on Google. It's such an easy tool to use in order for you to refine your search for the specific job you're looking for to the point of where you can refine it to show if you only want to see jobs that don't require experience or jobs that require a certain amount of experience. So if you're to
Okay.
look, I would say, yeah,
Can I share the screen and do what you just said? You said Google Docs. Do I
Google
also say
Jobs.
jobs? Do I
Google
also do
Jobs.
I also say remote work or just say Google Jobs? And then guys, you
Just
can keep your questions coming. It's either you raise your
mhm.
hand or you write your question in the comment section and then I'll give you a go ahead to speak while I try to do what she's advising us to do now, which is searching for
Mhm.
Google Doc. Yes.
So
So
it's just
guys, you can
Google Jobs.
okay.
Once you're there, you should be able to refine your search to remote. You should be able to search what positions you're looking for, what experience these jobs are requiring. And you can also
Okay.
try Glassdoor. That's another place you can try. Flex
Can you guys
Jobs is
see
another
my
one.
screen now? Is my screen
It's
visible?
loading. We are here.
So you say Google Jobs. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Oh my God, what's next? Why very remote? Like, okay, Google Jobs. Guys, personally, I know Kuna Google, but I don't really, I've never really used it to search for jobs. So where do I go from here?
Google Jobs. Right at the top, it says Google Jobs there.
Not this one.
The one right at the top, you can go to Google Jobs, not Google Careers.
Okay. I hope you guys are seeing. Okay. Continue with Google. Oh, I'm not gonna sign up now. So you're saying this is one of the recommended places for people who are interested in doing remote job. And normally
Google
I see a
Jobs,
lot of,
Flex Jobs. Normally you
okay.
see,
No, I hope I won't receive a lot of notifications. Oh Lord. Okay. The other one, okay. We're here.
Mhm.
Oh, job leads.
Go on. Exactly. You see job leads, you can go on Jobs Day.
Keep going. Oh, first of all, okay.
Can't you
Okay.
skip that?
Angazi nami. If you know your resume, don't click what I clicked. I will skip this one. Keep going. What is status of job unemployed and currently looking? Help us show. Keep going. The reason why I did it here. Do I need to
Mhm.
say my job title?
You shouldn't have to do all that, man.
Really? That's why. Okay.
Search, yeah.
Keep going. Okay. Keep going. So if I'm interested to remote work, then I'll click remote lah.
Exactly. It's
Remote.
almost like the same way that you do on LinkedIn, just refining your search so that all you're seeing are the things
So
that
there's
you're
full
just
time, there's
interested
part
in.
time. Then I keep
Mhm.
going. What is my desired salary? It's actually 2 million plus.
2 million, please.
Did you already reach out? Hmm, not yet. Okay, keep going. So then there's a paying thing. I can keep it
No, no,
at
you
basic.
shouldn't have to. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now I'm in. Guys, I hope you guys are following. Now I'm in.
Check jobs at the top there. You've got home and then jobs.
Yes, jobs.
Mm.
Oh, I really don't know this platform. It looks cool. And then after jobs,
I've got a whole video on my thingy, on my TikTok. I've got a whole video on how to go on it, navigate it.
okay.
Before you even go, do you see how sometimes you'll come across these ones that say hybrid and all that?
Where are
So
they? I
here,
don't.
the first position, they say
Oh,
senior
yes.
digital account manager, and it's hybrid.
Yes.
You can get
Yes.
hybrid, you can get on site, you can get remote. So, work setting at the top there, you want to change that, like you were doing, change that to remote.
Hmm? Okay.
You change your salary range, and then go to the little toggle at the end there,
But if I
the
put
little
the
two
salary
lines with
range, it will limit us. But if I don't put it, I'll see everything, right?
actually, yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So these are all the jobs that are currently available and that are remote. And I see that there are
Yes.
currently
And you can also, at the top,
378. Eh,
exactly. At the top, right here next to the South African flag, you can choose the
yeah.
location in terms of
Oh,
which country you want to look for the remote job in.
oh. Mina
But
ngifuna
now,
South Africa. Yes.
no, but the thing is, that means the positions you're going to be finding now, they are all in South Africa.
Okay.
It's a
Then
South
if I
African
don't
job.
choose, if I don't
Mhm.
choose, it will be same as salary. It means I'll see everything that is currently available.
You will see everything. But
Okay.
because there's a South African flag, you're only going to see what's being offered in South Africa.
Oh,
If you want to see positions for companies that are maybe in the USA, change that, put it on the USA. And the next thing you're going to need to pay attention to is before you apply for a job,
Mm.
say Australia, we can work with that, it's okay. So before you apply for the job, you want to look out for certain things. If it's a remote job, you want to make sure they have mentioned that they are hiring worldwide, or they will state the country that they would hire people from, or it will
Okay.
say they were hiring EMEA, which basically stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. If it doesn't
Oh,
state that, then they are only hiring remote within that country.
okay. Ngiyabona ukuthi kune-subscription lana. These are things that are for premium members only. Sometimes these
Not
subscriptions, guys,
necessarily, though.
I'm sure this one is written for premium members only.
But not all of them are all for premium members, guys.
Okay, let me search. So I can see that the salary there is on the also written on or but in the
In their
my
currency.
rands. Yes, currency.
Hmm.
Does it mean that I'll get paid in US dollars or that if I work for them or kutoshintsha if I'm in
Yes.
South Africa? Will I get in
They will pay
US plus?
you they will pay you in their currency. If you're working for a US company, they're paying you dollars. If you're working for a UK company, they pay you in pounds. If you're working for Australia, they're giving you Australian dollars.
Okay. Because like a lot of these jobs, they people work at night. People that I know. When I'm
Yes,
sleeping, they're working.
that is true because of the different time zones. I actually
Okay.
work from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's the time zone.
Okay.
The people who work
What
for
the-
Australia are the ones who suffer the most.
Okay. Oh, mara umholo ukhona mara shem. Money is very important, guys.
Uh,
We need to live large, but I can see, but I know that there are people here. There are people that can
mhm.
afford premium. I mean, when I do account, I do like also experiencing the full potential of because guys, if you're looking for a job, paid
Mhm.
media and don't. If you're looking for a job and you can afford a premium subscription, maybe for a month or two, I think
Yeah.
you stand a chance of getting a lot of exposure
Mhm.
or opportunities than just someone who is doing it without paying premium. Ngoba lokuba ne-premium, it also gives you a priority. I'm very much sure of that. It will give you
Mhm.
priority and extra access to this information that they have. And I also think this is a good tool. So, guys, I've asked questions before she goes because she will leave. Can you guys please raise your hands? Ask your questions. I'll be here to facilitate, seeing who asked first, and you guys will get your answers. Ebona, after this meeting, I'll continue exploring this masterclass. Me and my sister, we want another side hustle, so maybe I can be a data capture somewhere and
Maybe, you know?
get the money. So,
Yeah.
guys, do we have any questions for V? So V is an is an introverted extrovert. Not as you
I'm
can't
only
say
an
an
in
ex.
I'm only an extrovert when I'm online like this. If you meet me in real life, you would probably think I'm a different person.
Yeah, move again there. Guys, do we have any questions? Or the relay. Please unmute and ask your question.
Hello.
Hey, babes.
Hi.
I didn't get I didn't get the actual premium amount. How much is that actually?
I
I
honestly
will
don't know. You will have to
check.
check on
It's
those website.
yeah, it's not her tool. She was just sharing with us some of the tools, and you said is that one? Which one? Which one is the other one, V?
Flex jobs.
Yes. I know Fleck Jobs, you have to pay for it as well. I'm not sure ukuthi malini le ngizokucheckela ne, but now you can check using or doing what I was doing. Do I have another
And
question?
you know what? Let me just say this. Another thing is, guys, it's really not about what website you're using. I've had people get jobs on LinkedIn. So if you learn to optimize your LinkedIn, there are people who do LinkedIn optimization professionally. Do that. And once you've optimized it, you might even be surprised that recruiters are now camping in your DMs. So it's not really which website should I go to. It's about optimizing your CV or your profile on whatever website you choose to use.
That's what I say. Yo, I like you.
Guys, can you please mute? Promise. Wait. Okay. I think I saw a hand from Will. Am I correct? Do we have another hand? Hey. Wilson, please go ahead. Wilson? Cebo? Cebo, please go ahead. Is it me, guys? Can you hear me?
Well, I have a
Okay.
question.
How are you?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Wilson. It's fine. You follow Cebo.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very fine, man. I wanted to say thank you, V and Sesimpendul. Thank you for the presentation.
You're
But
welcome.
yes, I've got maybe two questions that I just wanted to find out. I see all these websites and links that's people apply for jobs. So I had a lot of people talking about the issue of some of those links. They also include some companies which you find that when you actually apply, you find that this company is not authentic. So I wanted to ask, how do we vet that? Because
Good question.
there are cases whereby people apply the job, they will be told to meet somewhere in Johannesburg in another building, and then only to realize that this company is not authentic or is not doing the authentic job. And that's where most of the cases you find that there's what we call human trafficking. So I wanted to ask that, or how do we vet this, number one? And then number two, which are the websites that are more reliable in terms of job seeking?
Okay. So I would personally say, when it comes to looking for a job, honestly, I can't tell you that this website and that website are the most reliable because at the end of the day, it's the Skellum companies that get access to post their jobs on those different websites. What you can do to protect yourself is to at least know the red flags when it comes to communicating with someone who's potentially looking to hire you. One of the first things you should do when you start communicating with a company, you should check in communicating, at least communication should be formal. And that means there are some legit companies that can communicate with you on WhatsApp, yes. But that can also be a red flag, especially if it's not a big, well-known company. Communication should be formal. That means we should be communicating on email. And if we are communicating on email and you're a legit company, your email, like the last part of your email, if you are to take that and copy it and put it on Google, it should take you to their website because a professional company is going to invest in a professional domain. And that last part of their email is what the domain is. Look them up online, see if that takes you to their website. check for them on LinkedIn. Check if they've got a profile that actually makes sense on LinkedIn, if it actually has some following or people who have tagged to say they work there. And you're in luck if they are people who have this company on their profile, right? You can actually reach out to these people who say they work at the company. Is it going to be 100%? Maybe not. You might actually just end up reaching out to the person who is, doing the whole scaling business on the side. But it really does help. In my own experience with the people that I've been helping, I have noticed it helps to reach out to whoever has that company in their bio saying that, or in their experience saying they've worked together. Find out what type of company it was when they worked there. It can kind of help you as well. And another thing, you want to make sure you're not rushed into anything, specifically with remote hiring. You should not be in a situation where you started talking to a company and 5-10 minutes later, they're already telling you you're starting on this day. Did you get a contract? Make sure you always get a contract. Do not start doing any work without a contract. But your very first thing is to look them up online before you show up anyway, before you start doing work for anybody. So you shouldn't be rushed in any way at all. I've had people who started working because, you've been unemployed for a long time, you can get desperate. So the moment you start talking to a company and they're seeming all impressed, they're happy with your qualifications and everything, they give you your start date where now you don't even ask for a contract, you will not get paid or you will end up in a body bag. I'm sorry to say, but these are situations that actually happen. So first thing you want to do, look them up online, vet their communication. Is it professional enough? Literally paying attention to their grammar will also help you. If they're misspelling things a lot, that's a bit of a red flag as well. I hope
To
that
add
helps.
on that one, or to echo as well, guys, if you
Before
get a
you
job,
add,
okay.
I wanted to just add something. Does this thing also, the remote work, does it also involve these jobs that are found for like doing what again? This job where usually people, they are linked with WhatsApp, and then to put their details, and then they are linked with selling from the stores.
Linked with what?
Selling from the stores.
No. With remote working, you're not going to be asked to be in a location physically. It's all online.
Yeah, I'm asking this because recently there is a lot of when it's even advertised on TikToks, whereby you find someone is advertising people who want to do the extra income. So when you click there, it automatically link you with the person's number or the company number. I don't know whether it's a company number or it's a person's number. Then whereby you are requested to put your details and the account details and everything, so that when they do payment, they said they will do payment through the account details.
I would ask you to be very skeptical of such.
Yeah, that's what we call online job. And usually
That
they
is
call
not...
it an extra income.
I don't know if that's how it is,
Yeah,
but to be honest, I would...
make guys, there's a difference, and I'm trying to push this because there are a number of hands, and she has to go back to work.
Okay,
There's a
thanks.
difference
I
between
wanted to ask that.
sharp. The extra key, I will answer it for everyone else. The extra income and a job is two different things. Another thing, if you find a job and there's a link, and that link is taking you to ShopRite, make it normal for you to start afresh and search ShopRite website and go to the website careers and see if you're seeing the same job in their main career. Number two, if you are reaching, someone is reaching you and you find them go social media, check the number of followers. If the person has 2 followers, then it should be, because scammers, they don't last for a very long time in social media. They scam people and then they move to a different page. So you check out how many people are they following. It is not likely to get hacked, or eBay scam, and you find that that person has 10,000 or 3,000 followers on LinkedIn, and that person is posting and is interacting with other people as well. So these are the things that you want to look at. Mara, in case
That's a
of
really good
LinkedIn,
point.
you can find
Mhm.
small businesses like mine. My business is operating on WhatsApp. Then you have to look at, okay, it's on WhatsApp, the number of following, how long has Mpendulo been online? You check the comment section, because if I once scammed someone in the comment section, someone will come and say something.
That's
I will,
true.
there will be something dodgy. So there are small businesses that don't afford these big websites. If you find a link that is saying Baqasha a sports scene, go back to your Google search and type sports scene, go to careers, you'll confirm if the job is there. But again, at the end of the day, we cannot be very, very, very sure about everything. And we are people, Nema, even policemen, they can't solve some of these problems. And we cannot stop sharing such information because we are scared of scammers. Because let me say, Bendy, you guys also need it. Klebo, can you please ask your question?
Okay, I mean, I'm on the issue like, what if it happened? Like I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like, you have no work experience, and most of um, these companies, but lo botsa hore essentially work experience or whatever. So, how do you navigate that? Because now, actually, your CV is just one page, and then that's it.
Pendula, are you going to
V?
take that or should I go on?
Yes, please. Go
All
on.
right, cool. So, if you don't have working experience, right? Normally, what I tell people to do is to create your own experience. And this came up because a lot of people have been doing ALX, right? They do their ALX course, and at the end of the course, you got this certificate, you're stuck, you don't know where to get a job, or you're trying and you're not getting it. You've already got a skill that you've acquired. What you can do, freelance, or go and look for businesses like Mpendulo's business, small businesses that you can offer your services to. Offer your services to them. As someone without experience, you're obviously not going to be charging them as much as someone who's got like 3 or 5 years experience is going to charge. And also considering you're going to target smaller businesses. If, let's say, you've been trying to look for jobs and they are asking for 1 year experience or 6 months experience, look for these small businesses, pitch yourself to them, freelance for them for a minimum fee. Or if you're okay with doing it for free, do it yourself. But I would never advise you to work for free. Charge them a certain amount and sign a contract with them, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, so that you get your experience. And then that's something you can now add onto your CV and you can start applying for the full-time jobs that you want. That's one way to go about it.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I want to share my screen again on LinkedIn. Meaning I'm more experienced on LinkedIn. So guys, I'm not saying that it's not true. Ukuthi they don't want experience. Sangixola switch volume. It's not, it's true to a certain extent. So I was searching here and I was searching la LinkedIn. I'm looking for remote jobs in South Africa. And then the result is showing 714 results. Then there's this point, let's say key experience level. In all jobs, whether you're a graduate, whether you are what, on LinkedIn, you will find internship level, you will find entry level.
Entry level.
You're probably being exposed a lot to this high level jobs, because I always tell people that you might have a good CV, but if you don't know where to knock with it, it will not be useful to you. So you need this technique of finding this opportunities. If you see lang, it says 714. Once I click entry level, the search is going down to 228 positions for remote job at entry level. And if entry level does not mean no experience, it's just saying maybe about 1-2 years experience or no experience. If you feel like, okay, nalapho angfiti, there's internship. Internship then is taking us back to level 11 possible results. And at internship level, nakhona, they don't really look for a lot of extensive experience. So these are part of the remote jobs that are there on LinkedIn that do not need experience. They are not a lot, but they are there. So I know that a lot of people but yeah, thina angeke sizisebenze because they always want experience. But I just showed you now that you just need to know where to knock, I think.
Yeah.
Who I don't know if you are answered. Can we move to the next question? Scammers because they ask for payments. Bokang is saying, I don't know if it's Watson. Those are scammers because they ask for payment. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if you want to answer that at V.
Well, the statement is
Um,
true. Anyone who's asking you to make any payment to get a job is a scammer because if we are just logical about it, like let's just be very logical about life right now. At what point is someone asking you to pay so that they give you a job? The reason why you look for a job is so that you get money from the job. So if anyone is asking you to pay, obviously they're trying to scam you. And within the remote space, the way they do this is they will tell you the whole, oh, we are hiring you. All of a sudden, they are using flowery language. We want to send you a MacBook and an iPhone, or we want to send you equipment for work, and we just need you to make payment for the shipment only. And you might find they'll tell you a weird amount, like $100 Rand or like 300 Rand. To you, it then seems like, oh, it's just 200 Rand, but they're sending me a MacBook and an iPhone for work and things like that. That's how they're scamming you. Anyone who's
Okay.
asking for money for anything before giving you a job is trying to scam you.
Okay. Before I add my comment on that, there's a question. Uthi, which platform did you use for you to get your current job?
I used JobDuck, but on JobDuck, what I would suggest if you are not looking to do, let's say, legal assistant or anything related to legal or marketing, because that's what they are mostly focused on. And I'm hoping everyone here is in South Africa because they do hire from South Africa. They don't hire from everywhere in the world. They only hire from specific countries. So if you're looking to go into the legal work, if you want to do marketing, or what is it, personal assistant, virtual assistant work, JobDuck really works. If you want anything else, they do have a newsletter where they don't post these jobs on their website, but they will share in a newsletter to say these jobs are available. So you can go on that.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Do we have
You're
another
welcome.
question? But guys, I want to also say something on the money issue, it being a scam. It's a scam when they're saying go for an interview, you have to pay, especially when you are interacting with the recruiter. But if you have a business like mine, people end up saying, oh yeah, now we are scam. It's actually the same thing as the website that I showed you guys earlier. They're saying on premium, pay so that you can access this kind of our services. You're literally paying them for you to get that job. But because it's on a website, you feel like, oh, okay, maybe that is reasonable. And then if Umpendulo is saying, I'll sit in my laptop and I try help you find a job, uti scam, mara premium, I see scam. So I wanted to clarify the difference that I always tell people that to write a CV, to find a job, to do what, everything is online. You can do it yourself, but most of the time we charge you for our time and our platforms. So ungabe disturb ukuthi uyothi hi lapha ku-WhatsApp and then I start charging you for a CV. Uthi uyambona uyascammer. No, I'm charging you for my services. But if they
That's
ask you
true.
for money so that they can give you a job, then that is something that is questionable. So V, before you leave, what I heard you saying you have master classes and other people are
Pendulo,
asking you. Yes.
Yes.
I've not gotten a chance to ask my question. I just heard you saying you want to let her go. I had technical glitches. Can I ask before you ask about the masterclass?
Yes, please.
Hi, Vanessa. Okay,
Hi.
I got all the questions. Thank you so much for, I think you've answered all the questions, the websites. I wanted to ask you about that. And can you please, before you leave, can you touch on the RS, what do we call? Oh, CRM platforms. I need us to talk about that briefly. Those platforms, CRM platforms, when you're working remotely, you have to have knowledge of that. It can be um, um, ServiceNow, it can be Zendesk, etc. So if maybe I do it, uh, maybe I go and do it from Coursera, got it for
Mm-hmm.
free. Will they recognize it just from such platforms? That's number one question. If I
Mm-hmm.
got it there, is it recognizable? And then the other question, the other question, the second one is, let's say I have for what they want, the um maybe fiber. You have to have fiber at home and
Mm-hmm.
etc. And maybe let's say backup, maybe in the form
Mm-hmm.
of a VPN. I don't have all of that, but I know someone, let's say in Midrand, who has that, and then I want to go there and and maybe take what you call a speed test. So
Mm-hmm.
is it possible to manipulate like that? Because I've gotten I've gotten two opportunities, remote work, and they asked for that. Say please take speed tests, send quickly. Like they should not be
Mm-hmm.
screenshots. Like we want something authentic. So I couldn't because I don't have fiber and I don't have VPN. Also, I uh, like I hotspot. So that was that stood in my way. So if I
Mm-hmm.
manipulate like that, can that be possible? And
Mm-hmm.
then get those things after I have gotten a job. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, to answer you, yes, it is possible, but don't tell them I'm the one who said it's okay. Okay. It is possible for you to use somebody else's Wi-Fi if you don't have. Guys, we are Africans, we thrive on community. If you don't have, use your cousins, use your sisters, make a plan, get it done. Even if you don't have a laptop, ask for your friend to let you use their laptop. And then with your first salary, you can buy yourself a laptop or you can get yourself fiber. That's what you need to do. But in terms of a VPN, so first of all, I'm going to say most people think you should use a VPN for your application so that they think you're in America or whatever, where the company is located. You don't want to do that. You're in South Africa, make sure you're in South Africa. Start using a VPN once you've actually gotten a job, because the VPN is now supposed to just kind of mask where you are in terms of you guys getting hacked or whatever. So it doesn't matter. And if you're saying you can't pay for one, you can use one called Proton VPN, Proton. It's got a free version and it's got a paid version. You can use the free version. I've been using the free version since I started working remotely and it works. So you can try that. What was the first question? I've forgotten.
Okay, the first question, yeah, I just want to touch quickly. I've heard of Proton, and some people say that you use proxy to hide your like where you are. Maybe you don't want some companies to like to detect that you are in South Africa, especially those companies
Mm-hmm.
that don't mention that they are hiring worldwide or EM, that thingy that you mentioned, that
Mm-hmm.
acronym. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're saying that they use a proxy, to sort of conceal their where they
But
are actually.
listen, the thing is, you can do that, but at the end of the day, they're going to ask you for your documentation that says you can work from the country that you're saying you're in. How are you going to
Mhm.
produce that?
Yeah, so I don't think that's That's big.
You see, that does not work. Like, guys,
Yeah.
like I said, you can do all you can. Just say it's not Vanessa who told you to do it. Because I thrive on just be as honest as possible. I feel like life really does work that way. And for someone who has been unlucky and you've been trying for so many years to look for a job, that probably sounds insensitive. And I'm sorry if that's how it comes across, but to be very honest, sometimes you need to hold on to your integrity, hold on to being honest, and see where it takes you. For people who do that, there are so many people I've come across who also say, oh, I use a VPN, I use a proxy. But you will always get to a roadblock because every time you apply for a job, by the end of your application and them hiring you, they will ask you if you are living in a country that you are not a citizen in. They want you to produce documentation that says you're allowed to work while you're in that country. So you're not going to be able to produce those documents, and then you're still not going to get the job anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. The second question, it was around those platforms, CRM platforms that are needed when one works from home, like
Oh,
there's
yes. So
yeah,
if you do them online on different websites, that works. This might be fascinating to know. I got my first job also based on that. I did a lot of different courses online during my 3 years of unemployment. And when I was applying for my remote job, that's what I used, and that's how I got my job. So they do recognize them. All you're going to need to know, what really carries weight at the end of the day, is the fact that if you do get the job, you will be able to demonstrate that whatever skill you acquired online, you can actually put it to work.
mm, mm.
So
Okay.
yes, they are recognized. Most international companies are not too focused on where you got the qualification. As long as you've got the skill and you can show you can use it, then you should be good.
Yeah, because some of these platforms are free. Like, for example, is it
Yes.
Allison or what? I stand corrected on the
Mhm.
name.
Allison,
Some of
Udemy has some free courses as well. Some of them are paid.
yes. So
Coursera. Mhm.
Sarah, yes. I'd rather maybe not make it at the interview level, like maybe fail because I don't have a particular tool or a resource. So I'm talking in
Mhm.
terms of fiber. So I'm thinking of
Mhm.
manipulating it, maybe going to my sister somewhere or a brother somewhere to do that.
That's okay.
Actually,
That's
okay,
okay.
all right. Now I'm done with the questions, and
Thank
thank you so
you.
much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Molimo asked a question. My question request to V is for her to
Mhm.
recommend typing jobs currently open in South Africa. I would like to do them on Saturday and Sunday during the day.
Oh, unfortunately, I don't keep up with what jobs are available simply because I think it takes a lot of time from me if I wanted to do that. And I kind of have a busy schedule, so I would be the wrong person to ask that. I don't keep up with that. You can go on TikTok. There's a lady called Lynn, I think it's Lynn Fito. She shares those types of positions.
Thank you. Guys, do we have any other question? And if they wanna get hold of you and your services, your master classes and stuff, how do they get hold of you?
Ooh, so let me tell you about my masterclass, guys. My masterclass is my baby, my remote work masterclass. It's where I share all information about remote work for people who are trying to get online jobs. We basically cover a lot of different topics. It is a recorded masterclass made up of 13 videos that touch on different topics like answering interview questions, what should be on your CV. I briefly touch on LinkedIn, but I think Mpendulo is way better at LinkedIn than I am. I am very much a person who knows how to talk. We've also got a topic on how you can learn to speak better and articulate yourself in interviews. Because when you're applying for a job, it's not just the experience, it's not just the qualification that gets you the job. If you're able to articulate yourself better than someone who's qualified, you might land the job before they do. So it's a whole lot of different topics. I also discuss high paying jobs, in demand jobs, in demand courses that you can do if you want to get to work remote. And this is a class I do every first weekend of the month. I've actually got one coming up this weekend. And yeah, if you want to know all about that, I'm on TikTok. I'm very much a TikTok. I am V, the TikToker, V, the remote worker on TikTok. You just go type in remote.vee, and there are a lot of pages that are trying to replicate what I am doing. So you need to make sure if you go on TikTok, you're following the right page. It's remote.vee, and it's got 120 something thousand followers at the moment. So just make sure you're on the right one. And yeah, on my TikTok, you can ask questions. You can use my email. Normally, I tell people send me an email. My email is team@vchilimanzi.com. One of the people I work with or myself will respond to you. Usually, we are very timely in our responses. Not all the time, but usually we try. But yeah, generally find me on social media, whatever platform you're comfortable with. I'm just very active on TikTok, and I use the same username, remote.vee.
Okay. Thank you so much, V, for your time and availing yourself for our session. Can I please ask the name of the lady so that I could go and stalk her and invite her to come and visit us?
Her
Who is
name
she?
is Lynn, Lyn, and I think her last name is Fito. She posts job positions.
Okay. Lynn Fito.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Thank you so much. Wish me luck, guys. I will find her. If I manage to find her, maybe she'll give you guys more information on the current positions that are there. But you also need foundation, guys. You need this education. When I bring someone on board, it's very good for you to listen. Okay, thank you so much. I see it, Bongani
Thank
there
you.
in Fito. Thank you
Guys,
so
thank
much,
you for
V.
having me. Let me get back to
Thank
work.
you.
Thanks a lot. This was
Siyabonga
nice.
kakhulu.
Really loved it.
Thank
Hope
you
we
so
do
much.
it some
Thank
other
you.
time.
Yes, please. Bye.
Bye.
Siyabonga kakhulu, guys. Please, after this, I will share the conversation on YouTube. Please go on YouTube, comment so that you can push the video. You comment, you like, subscribe. I'll share the YouTube link as soon as I upload. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Any comment? Do you have any request? Who should I bring? Any comment? Any?
Yeah, I think Lynn.